Hi guys, it's Melanie, and today for Vlogmas, I thought I would go ahead and just share a quick update about my 2-year post-op mommy makeover surgery. If you are new to my channel, on December 11th, 2013, I underwent what is called a mommy makeover. And essentially for me, that meant that I had a full tummy tuck with muscle repair, and I also had a breast reduction. Most people that have a mommy makeover choose to have implants put in. I had plenty of boob. In fact, they were way too large for my body, and so I opted for a reduction instead. So I did document the entire journey, and if you are curious at all about any point of that journey, whether it's how much I paid for the surgery, what I looked like beforehand, what made me decide to do it, all of the emotional stuff that went on surrounding committing to doing the surgery, the aftermath. I mean, I have footage of myself essentially coming out of like anesthesia and just kind of waking up after the surgery, and then obviously all of the follow-up appointments. I think I did a really good job of documenting everything so that if someone is curious about somebody else's experience about the process, I definitely have a lot of information there. So if you go to my main channel, I will link my main channel down below. If you scroll down, there's actually a full playlist on the mommy makeover surgery process from start to finish. And I did do a 1-year update, so I thought I would go ahead and do a 2-year update. Not much has changed other than my scars just keep fading more and more, and I really honestly at this point don't feel like I ever even had the surgery done in terms of like pain or anything like that. Like there's no pain at all anymore. The only thing that sort of remains is that around my tummy tuck incision, I do still get swelling in the middle part right along the incision line if I am retaining a lot of water. For some reason, I tend to get really swollen there when I deal with any kind of like bloating or anything like that. I don't know why that is. I think there was definitely a lot of trauma to that area. I mean, I was cut from hip to hip to have the tummy tuck. And so, you know, that could be scar tissue in there that just gets inflamed. I don't know. It's not bad. It's not anything that is noticeable to anybody else, and it doesn't affect me in any kind of way. It's just something that I have a feeling is always going to be there because it's basically kind of been there from the beginning and has never really gone away. On days where I'm not bloated in any kind of way or retaining any kind of water, and I'm just good and in good health and not sick or anything, my stomach is perfectly flat. You know, I can see my stomach muscles. I have stomach muscles again. For those of you that don't know why someone would have a tummy tuck with muscle repair, after my pregnancy with Stella, my body did not bounce back at all. In fact, like it did no bouncing at all. It just stayed basically exactly like it was after I had Stella. The problem is that genetically, my stomach muscles decided, and it is genetic. My stomach muscles did not come back together after the pregnancy. So when you're pregnant with your kid, obviously your stomach needs to grow. It's a human in there. And your stomach muscles have to separate in order to accommodate the baby. And so when you're pregnant, your stomach muscles, you know, come apart and they're out here. And most women after pregnancy, the stomach muscles come back together, and once that happens, you're able to start doing sit-ups again, and you're able to start strengthening your stomach muscles. For me, mine stayed out here. They never grew back together. And so I could actually see like my intestines working because I had nothing covering like my insides. They were just able to like spill out essentially. The only thing holding them back was, you know, the little layer of fat that I had there, obviously, and then also just the skin. So when, you know, my physician was feeling like how far apart my muscles were, she was like, I can actually feel your intestines moving in there. And, you know, when I would lay in bed at night, if I put my hand on my stomach, I could feel like my intestines like moving the food around. So I needed to have the muscle repair done because I had no core strength at all. And then the bonus was that I also got rid of a little bit of extra skin that I had after pregnancy. I was lucky in that I didn't have a ton, but there was enough for her to, like, you know, get rid of some. And so that got rid of some of my stretch marks. Not all of them. I still have some, but it's not nearly as bad as it was. And the breast reduction needed to happen because I was huge. I breastfed my daughter. I actually was hoping to have a breast reduction earlier in life, but when I learned that I wouldn't be able to breastfeed if I ever had a kid in the future, that kind of deterred me because I knew that was something that I wanted to do. I wasn't entirely sure I wanted children, but I knew that I wanted that option if I ever were to have a child. So I decided to wait. If I wasn't going to get pregnant by my mid-30s, I was then going to have the surgery, and, you know, that would be it at that point. But luckily I had Stella at 33, and after I had her, my boobs just kept getting bigger and bigger. When I stopped breastfeeding, they never went back down. They were just huge. I stopped counting my bra size after a triple D. I just kind of squished them into a lot of the bras that I had. I did have a couple of like nursing bras that were much bigger, and you know, I would wear those for a long time, even after stopping breastfeeding Stella, because they were all the bras that would fit me, and I just refused to buy any more bras, so any bigger bras actually. So yeah, the decision, you know, I talk a lot about that in my vlogs. So if you're curious about all of the ins and outs of the whys, like, that information is definitely there. But, you know, for me, it honestly has been like one of the best decisions that I've ever made. I've been very lucky to have a husband that has supported me in that decision. And, you know, it was a big financial commitment, and he, you know, was willing to make it with me, and he was supportive during the entire process and only ever wanted me to feel like myself again, because I just truly didn't feel like myself. And he took care of me afterwards and went with me to all the appointments and was just really, really great during the whole process. So I feel very fortunate to have been able to have done this. And honestly, like I said, 2 years later, it doesn't feel like I ever even had the surgery done. It was a rough road. I was not one of those people that had a really easy recovery after a tummy tuck, and that's something to know. Just because I had kind of a bad experience doesn't mean you will. I saw plenty of vlogs out there of women that were just like, yeah, you know, I'm uncomfortable, and, you know, it doesn't feel great, but it's not super painful. Mine was pretty painful. I was pretty limited with the types of drugs that I could take afterwards for painkillers because of allergies that I have, so that limited me quite a bit. I couldn't take the muscle relaxers because I had complications from those. So essentially, like, I just kind of had to heal, like, with a lot of, like, the natural pain that just came along with having had a major surgery and, you know, only being allowed to take regular Tylenol to help with, you know, the pain and stuff like that. So anyway, I'm trying to think of if there's anything. I guess, okay, so here's one thing. The regret that I still have, even 2 years after the surgery, is that the surgeon did not make my boobs smaller. I went in wanting to be like a B or a C cup, and she was very big on making sure that I was proportionate and that, you know, my boobs matched my body. I'm not petite by any stretch of the imagination. I am a solid size 10. I weigh 180 pounds, and I have a very athletic body type. I've always had big boobs, and, you know, she really wanted to make sure that whatever she was going to, like, give me in the end was going to be very proportionate for who I am right now. And she definitely did that. They look very proportionate, but I just always dreamed of having small boobs. Growing up, having a big chest, like, I always wanted the exact opposite. If I would have been able to go down to like an A cup, if she would have let me do that, I would have honestly probably done that. And I know that seems crazy to so many of you out there who are like, I would kill for huge boobs. No, you wouldn't. They were incredibly painful. They were huge. I have like permanent indentations on my shoulders here from bras that I had to wear, that like dug into my shoulders, and it's not a good thing to have giant boobs. It's really not. I know that is like a lot of, you know, what girls dream about is just, you know, having these big tits. That was never my dream. I had them and I hated them. And, you know, for me, it was, I always dreamed about just never having to like worry about my chest in any kind of way. I am now, after they have like fully settled and healed and like they are what they are, I am a D cup. That's way bigger than I wanted to be, obviously. I was hoping that, you know, I would get down to like a C by the time that they were done healing up, but unfortunately not. They are still a D cup, which bums me out, but at least they're smaller than what they were. And I think now when I lose weight, I do notice that I am able to lose a little bit in my chest area. I've never been able to lose weight in my chest area before when I went on diets or anything like that. And now that is something that is a possibility. So I am in the process of trying to lose some weight. And I know that I will get a little bit off of like the chest area. I don't think it will be enough to get down to like a B cup, but it might be like in the C range, which I would be perfectly happy with. But really, honestly, that's my only regret. That is the only thing that I still think about. It's the only thing that I regret not pushing my doctor more on. She's just the type of physician who is very much like, she likes to take a natural approach to everything. She wants to make people look natural in the end. You know, she if I wanted implants and I wanted enormous implants, she wouldn't have given me enormous implants. She would have been like, you know, you really need to do what's right for your body here versus what, you know, you think would be right for your body necessarily. I had an amazing physician. I would not change my doctor at all because my end result is just so great. You know, I just couldn't be happier with the way that I look now in terms of, you know, everything is just so symmetrical and even and flat where it wasn't flat before, and my scars are healing beautifully, and I'm so thankful to have had the opportunity. And even though I do have that one regret, it's not anything that makes me go back and think I wish I would have chosen a different doctor or anything like that. It's just, you know, it's my own personal, like, I've always had this wish in my head and it's hard to let go of that wish type of thing. So I know it sounds completely crazy and insane to those of you that dream about, you know, getting implants or whatever, but it's kind of the exact opposite to me, I guess. So yeah, 2 years out, I'm doing good. I'm happy. I, again, feel like nothing has ever even happened to me. I feel like the surgery never happened. The only reminder that I have are the scars. The scars have never bothered me. Not once have I looked in the mirror and gone, oh, you know, and when I wear swimsuits in the summer, no one knows. No one has any idea until I tell them, and they're like, oh my God, you did that to yourself? Like, you literally let them cut you hip to hip and like sew your insides back together, and it grosses people out, and I totally understand because I mean it's a massive surgery. I was in there for I think 6 or 7 hours, and the healing took a full year. It was not until a year after the surgery that I really felt truly like my body was fully healed. You know, there's a lot of suggestions that I have in some videos for people who are thinking about doing this, things to keep in mind. And the biggest one that I always tell people is if you have children, you need to be sure that you have a lot of helpers that can come in and can help you with your kids for the first like month or two, because you really can't do anything for them. If you have children that are still in cribs, you cannot lift your child out of that crib. You're not allowed to lift anything heavier than a gallon of milk for like a couple months after the surgery. If you pop one of those internal stitches when you have the muscle repair, you don't want to do that. One, that's painful. Two, if they have to go in and repair that, that's like another surgery. It's not like you can just, you know, casually like walk into your doctor's office and be like, I popped an internal stitch, can you fix it? You know, you really need to take the time to be able to heal properly, and that's really the biggest thing. It's just having the help that you need and having just also the emotional support that you need, because it's hard to feel so helpless for so long after the surgery. That was really tough for me. There was so much that I couldn't do. My mom had to take Stella for 2 full weeks after the surgery because Craig wasn't able to take care of Stella and me at the same time. He's a dude. It was just totally overwhelming to him, and so my mom had to step in, and she was just fantastic. And, you know, we had other family that helped out after Stella came back home, and there was just no way that I was able to do this otherwise. So make sure that you have a support system in terms of like manpower, and then also someone who is willing to like go through all of the emotional stuff with you. I cried a lot leading up to the surgery because I was so scared. You know, with any major surgery, there's a possibility of death, clearly. You know, that scared the crap out of me because here I am, like I have this kid who is not even 2 years old, and I'm choosing to voluntarily go under the knife to feel better about myself, and, you know, hopefully it all turns out okay. You know, that was hard for me to like get past that thought process, but I knew that if I didn't do this, like I would just never be happy with the way that I looked. There was no way for me to fix the case of diastasis recti that I had with exercises or binders or anything like that. No matter how many crunches, sit-ups, planks, whatever you want to call these tummy toning exercises that you do, they're never going to fix a case of diastasis recti that is severe enough to where like your stomach muscles just literally can't move back together, and you can actually do more damage. If you think that you have diastasis recti, I would go see your physician and just kind of get it diagnosed and have them tell you exactly how big that gap is. Mine literally was about this wide from the top of my stomach muscles to like the very bottom, like at the top of like my groin area. They were completely separated the whole way down. They were not ever coming back together without surgery, and that was something I needed to have fixed because it predisposes you to having hernias, and hernias are a genetic factor in my family on my dad's side anyway. I had my first hernia repair surgery when I was like 5. So, you know, that was not something that I wanted to like worry about for the rest of my life either. So anyway, I think that's enough talking. Hopefully this was a good enough update for you guys. If you have any questions, definitely list them down below. But if you have specific questions about costs of the surgery and all of that kind of stuff, check out the playlist because it is really, really informative. And yeah, overall, I'm happy and I'm thankful, and I feel like I have my body back, and I feel like I'm capable of now fine-tuning everything the way that I want it. You know, I'm going to the gym every day. I have this goal to get down to 160 pounds, which is healthy for my body type and my height and everything. So, you know, again, I'm not petite. So if I got down to like anything below that, I think I would look very sickly. It's totally not a good look for me. But, you know, I have these health goals in mind now, and I've been working on them all year, and it's a slow process. You know, when you have a job like I have, I tend to not take care of myself during the summer months because I just get so busy. And honestly, all of the work that I did at the beginning of the year, I undid over the summer months because of like stress that I had. And now I'm just recommitting myself to stepping back up my workout game and my proper diet game, and just really working on fine-tuning my body and just being healthy and happy, because that's really what's most important to me. I'm not going to be on the covers of Vogue. I'm not, you know, I don't have any goals of modeling. Like, I just want to be able to walk around and feel like my body is fit and in shape and just feel good and set a good example for my daughter. You know, I want her to be healthy throughout her entire life, and she needs a good example for that growing up. So anyway, seriously, I'm going to stop talking now. Leave me any questions down below if you have them. But thank you guys so much for watching. And thank you to those of you who followed me throughout that entire journey. Some of you have been there for like the very beginning to like now still, and that is incredible. And you know, you've seen me go through a lot the last couple years having chosen to do this, and I just appreciate all of your guys' support. You're amazing. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you in another Vlogmas video tomorrow. So take care, guys. Bye.